We just had the first Cash Cup action of Chapter 5, and we also saw Mongraal end an insane earnings drought that was over 700 days long. And in this video, I'm going to go over the first DUOS Cash Cup of Chapter 5, as well as talk about some new duos and other things happening in competitive. So let's get right into the video. To start us off, I want to talk about Mongraal, who qualified to the Cash Cup yesterday with MrSavage. Qualifying helped Mongraal in a 789-day earnings drought. It's crazy that Mongraal hasn't made earnings in over 2 years, but yesterday, him and MrSavage played insane and qualified to the finals, and didn't stop there. They actually ended up getting 15th place in finals while not having a drop spot and being contested the entire time. Moving forward, we're unsure if Mongraal will continue to play the game and compete. And also for MrSavage, it's unsure who he will duo with. I would love to see MrSavage go full content this season and maybe try to play with Mongraal and find a proper drop spot together. I don't expect Mongraal to be scrimming or fully going 100% though, but if they can find a drop spot and learn it, I think this duo could still do pretty solid. Apparently MrSavage was going to play with Rezon and then ended up dropping him to play this tournament with Mongraal, so we're just going to have to see how this ends up playing out. Comment down below what you guys think should happen and if you think this duo should play moving forward this season. Now let's get into the full EU top 5 recap in the first Cash Cup. And in first place, we had Nefrizi and Howley on 297 points. Nefrizi and Howley, if you don't remember, were one of the teams that qualified to the Global Championship and ended up getting disqualified because they were Russian. Nefrizi and Howley got first in the Last Chance Major and are now getting first in the first tournament of Chapter 5. These Russian teams have been playing insane lately, and I hope they got everything sorted out with their visas and stuff so they can continue to play the game and make earnings off it, because Nefrizi and Howley are one of the up-and-coming duos on EU, and they're starting to really pop off. Next in second place, once again, is MrSavage and Malabuka on 286 points. MrSavage and Malabuka just got their 14th second place together. It seems like all MrSavage and Malabuka do is get second place as a duo, but in the grand scheme of things, it's actually pretty solid. MrSavage and Malabuka are super consistent together, and I love that they're playing again, and I can't wait to see them in FNCS, and hopefully they can maybe win their first FNCS title together as a duo, and win Malabuka his first title in general. Next in third was Lazen and Sato on 285 points. They had a pretty solid match history, getting top 20 in every single game, so a really solid performance to start off the new chapter. In fourth is Ping and Marco on 254 points. Another solid performance where they got 10 kills in 2 different games to help boost them up to 4th place. And then rounding out the top 5 on EU, we have Carrot and Wafflar on 244 points. Now let's talk about some of the new EU duos. We got Thomas HD and Queasy, who got 23rd in their first Cash Cup finals together. This is a pretty scary duo if they put it all together. They got a 44 elimination win in the opens, and obviously any team with Queasy and Thomas HD are going to end up popping off and doing super consistent. So if this duo does make it to FNCS, you have to expect a really good placement out of them. Then the other big name new duo, Vino and Tayson, sadly did not qualify to the first Cash Cup of Chapter 5. They got 142nd place in opens. I expect this team to keep playing moving forward, but not a great start for them as a duo. Now moving on to the NA recap. In first place, we have Acorn and Cold on 334 points. Acorn and Cold get their 7th top 2 as a duo, and once again do it by getting elims. In the last game, it was very close with Rise and Iamzo in second place, and they ended up getting 5 more elims than Iamzo and Rise, which ended up making the difference in getting first and second place. So Acorn and Cold win yet another Cash Cup as a duo. Then in second place, as mentioned already, is Iamzo and Rise on 327 points. Iamzo and Rise got their 13th top 2 as a duo, one of the most consistent teams in the entire world, do it yet again getting another top 2, and also did it in Rise and Iamzo fashion, playing super consistent the entire tournament. Going into the season, I think Iamzo and Rise are yet again going to be another really consistent duo, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to FNCS and how they perform in FNCS, so we'll just have to see how that goes for them. Next in third place is a new duo, Dukes and Threats on 304 points. We actually saw Dukes and Threats playing last chapter in Chapter 4 Season 2, before Dukes ended up snaking Threats for Edgy, and then going on to win FNCS. Dukes and Threats were actually playing so good in scrims then, they were winning almost every single scrim session. And to see them finally playing a tournament is super good, because I think this duo can be really, really good if they actually play a season together. We'll have to see if they end up actually playing this season, but hopefully they do. Next in fourth place is the global champions CooperMeo on 273 points. Only really got to play 5 games out as they died off spawn in the first game. But CooperMeo are landing one of the best spots on the map this season, the Peter Griffin Mythic POI at Snooty Steps. A 4th place probably isn't quite what they want, but overall, a really good start to the new chapter. Then rounding out the top 5 on NA, we have another new duo, Bucky and Cam, on 256 points. Bucky and Cam did play a couple Cash Cups together in Chapter 4, Season 4, but we'll still count them as a new duo anyways. They actually played pretty consistent outside of one bad game. And with this team getting forecast almost every single game, if they can be unconned the entire season, I think they could actually have a pretty good shot at doing well. But we'll just have to see how the season plays out for them. But nonetheless, a pretty good start for them as a duo in Chapter 5. Then we have some new notable duos on NA. We have Peterbot and Pollo, who got 7th place in their first tournament together, while also being contested by one of the best duos on the region, Baka and Pars. We're going to have to see how that off-spawn plays out, but Peterbot and Pollo did get the best of them this tournament, winning 4-2, so we'll have to see if Baka leaves or what happens with that off-spawn. But nonetheless, Peterbot and Pollo looked really good when they got to play the end games out. This is a very scary fighting duo, and I think this duo has super high potential if they actually stick. You never know with Peterbot, you never know if he's going to stick with his teammate, so we'll just have to see moving forward. Then we also have another new duo, Aviv and Buga, who got 9th place in their first tournament. We don't know for sure if this team's going to stick moving forward, but I think this duo has pretty good potential. Aviv is probably one of the most underrated players on the entire region, if not the most underrated player. He plays super consistent, and I think playing with Buga could elevate him into the tier 1 category of player. So we'll just have to see if this duo ends up sticking or not moving forward. In other news, we also saw a solo Victory Cup Finals record 37 elimination win out of Peterbot on Friday in the first solo Victory Cup of the season. I don't even know how this could be possible, but this is just insane to even look at. Sadly, he didn't stream or record this game, so the Cheaterbot allegations are at an all-time high. Regardless of the trolls though, this is an insane record, and Peterbot is just proving to still be one of the nastiest fighters in all of Fortnite. Hopefully he starts streaming solo Cash Cups, as he has actually been streaming a little bit more often as of late. Chapter 5 tournaments are underway, and if you guys want my thoughts on this season, I think as of right now, it's probably about a 6 out of 10 competitively. The new medallions are super broken and competitive. It gives a team an infinite heal and surge trade basically, and also in a season with no hit scan weapons, it becomes even better since damage is somewhat hard to come by, outside of snipers, which also aren't a fan favorite as always. I love the map this season, but it is a pretty small map, but also it's the first season of the new chapter, so we can't expect too much there. It will get bigger and more loot will be present on the map in the coming seasons. Comment your thoughts on how this season is looking, and if you played the first Cash Cup or Victory Cup, let me know your thoughts on it from a playing standpoint as well as a viewing standpoint. That's going to wrap it up for the first comp recap of Chapter 5. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also like this video if you enjoyed it. Gonna try and crank some videos out this season and keep you guys informed on everything Fortnite competitive as always. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.